Look, I know, and look, I've made some really stupid decisions too, so I'm not gonna judge you. I'm just gonna tell you straight. What you did was kind of fucked up, and that's all I'm gonna say about it.
Yeah, this is. Go ahead. No.
I think you feel bad enough about it, though. I think
Yeah, see, this is the problem
everything
when
that
people think
happens.
with their hearts and not with their heads. Look, if I would have just thought it through for like 10 seconds, I would have known that it was a stupid idea, that I shouldn't have done it. But my heart wanted him to be happy, so I just did it. It was an impulsive decision that'll never happen again.
Can you pass me the phone quick? I have to tell something to Roxana.
Yeah, here you go.
Thank you. So how are we punishing Luke? Like,
No!
I know, like he can't leave the house in like a year or what's. I should probably call Chessa. Chessa, can you come here? We're talking about how we're gonna punish
I
our
was
son.
talking about my punishment right here in front of me.
It's better. You don't want to know your punishment?
No, I would like for there to be a pass.
Why would, like, you pushed Chance into an alternate universe? How are we gonna give you a pass?
Juan, I was trying to help. All right,
I understand. I wanted to say something to support him about his decision, but he clearly doesn't want to, and you just can't take the decision. So
at the time,
you're gonna have to be punished.
A lot like he wanted to.
Yeah, but even then, you're still gonna have to get punished.
I have gotten straight A since I was 1 year old, Juan.
And how does that matter?
All right, yeah, let's wrap this up. Let's bring him back. Let's go.
Okay,
Just a reminder.
Yeah.
I am here, and my ears are bleeding. Listen, Juan.
Is that music? I'm hearing music. What's that in the background?
Listen, I'll explain it to you when I get back right now. I really feel
that
like
sounds strangely like a musical, Roxana.
Listen to me, okay?
Are you watching a musical while we are here?
I'm gonna hang up this fucking puppet.
And a few hours later, Chance and Rox are back.
Yes.
All right.
I'm gonna just.
So
Juan is gonna text him at like, "Hey, your mom's worried about you." OG.
And he's gonna respond back, K. So he can respond back as
He says K, so yeah.
All right. So while it's gonna take a few hours
Thank
for Roxanne
God
to get
that
back.
this was addressed because that's
gonna. So as soon as that conversation is over, Luke, your ears start ringing.
No!
And you start to go deaf. And you hear suddenly a knock, possibly on a door. And then another knock, because you presume whoever didn't answer right away. The door swings open, and then you hear a voice of a female. I think that you've been around this person long enough to know that it's Austera. And Austera goes, "Hello, Father. Long time no see. I have questions, and I just wanted to pull a favor, if you could, please." And you hear steps. You hear a grunt, as if somebody's trying to go in response, and she says, No. I'm going to be doing the talking for the next few minutes or so. And she looks around. Wow, the place looks great since I last was here. It's been a long time, though. And that's all you hear. Your ears start ringing again, and then your hearing returns back again.
Take off to find Leia.
Leia, she seems to still be out at the beach. And she's with like the rest of the group. I'm assuming Albion and Juan and
Juan is back at
the rest
the beach.
of the group is still there.
Again, sitting down.
Tritessa and Toby are feeding the Chinese fireball, who seems to be munching on some feed right now. So you'll find Leia and says, "Hey, Luke, did you just get one of those vision things?"
Yeah, Leia, I'm fairly certain anytime I get one, you get one. So, yeah.
What did you hear? She asks.
I heard Austera. Is that how you say her name? Austera?
Yeah, I saw Astera.
Ostera, and she was talking to her father, and she's asking for a favor. Did you see where? Or,
No way.
oh,
She was talking to her father.
that's what.
That was her father?
Who's her father?
She looks around. She like pulls you. She pulls you to the side. She says, "Are you sure she was talking? When she's talking, she says, 'Hello, father.'"
Yeah.
Or
Leia, I don't forget anything.
So I saw her. Knocking on a door. Nobody was answering. So she knocked again. This door swung open, and then she started talking to Augustus Mermont.
Oh, that's your sister.
I called it. I literally said it in the chat. I literally said it in the
That's
chat.
your sister. What? That's crazy. Oh.
She looks at Albion and says, "Uncle Albion never mentioned that there was..." Actually, Uncle Albion didn't seem to recognize her at all when we first met.
Yeah, Uncle Al's never said anything about siblings.
I wonder what he's hiding. Ooh, maybe Uncle Albion has some deep, dark secrets about his family that we never knew about. Or maybe, she says, maybe the reason why he didn't recognize Ostera is because maybe Albion's been an imposter this entire time.
This kid's crazy.
You see how angry he was shouting? I don't know if that's the real
You
Albion.
know what? You're actually starting to
Fenrir
make some
got to
sense
him.
now. I think you might be onto something here, Leia.
You don't think that's a fake Finn, too? What should we do? Who should we trust?
We can only trust each other. So-
I know. Maybe you and I should take a visit to Mr. Mermont and get some answers.
You know what? That sounds like it. No. Look, I just left Chance on another universe, so we gotta tell Al.
But what if he's an imposter? What if he's a spy? What if... Wasn't it his idea? I betcha he didn't even lose his magic. I betcha he actually has his magic.
No.
It was his idea to take us into that book so that Fenrir Greyback can strike.
Leia, please stop making sense right now, please. I'm telling you.
Stop making sense, Leia.
Look, yeah, this is how conspiracy theories start, all right? Just a little bit of things that are coincidence makes things sound like the truth when they're not. That's clearly Al. He's been with us since the beginning.
Well,
this is Al.
I'm sorry, but it just looks like he's been one step ahead of us this entire time. And hello, a spy to the person that we actually trust the most. Isn't he like the one that we would trust? No one would suspect him.
Leia.
It makes perfect sense to me.
I know, Leia. That's why. This is insane. Leia, we gotta tell Al that he's got a sister he doesn't know
AJ,
about.
are you secretly a spy? You're not telling us. Because this is actually starting to sound.
Doesn't it make
suspicious.
sense? This is ridiculous.
AJ, are you secretly a spy? Have you been playing a spy, AJ, these last few days?
All right, look, Leia, look, I know what you're saying kinda makes a little bit, the tiniest bit of sense, but I promise you that's Al, and I promise you he's not a spy, and I promise he's not a bad guy.
All right. Well, I will take your lead then. Go ahead and let him know, and I'll be watching his reaction. He's got to break at some point if this is all an act.
Luke looks at Al, and his mind, he's like, that's gotta be Al. There's that's not Al. He'll slow. Well, go ahead.
So she says, actually, let me try something. So Leia's gonna march right over to Albion, and she's got like a very determined look on her face. And then she goes, she walks from behind Albion, and she goes, Uncle Albion, she says, What's my favorite color?
Out of character, I don't know. I would say green. Green, I don't know. He's just gonna say green. Green, right?
Okay, maybe that was too easy. Okay. What's the capital of Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh doesn't have capital, he says.
Okay. I didn't catch you on that one. That was a trick question. I got nothing. I got nothing, brother. You go.
Uncle Al, what? I don't know.
Is this one of those
I
silly?
don't know.
Is this one of those silly Facebook quizzes? I never really understood this.
Guys, we need to get serious. We just got attacked. We can just be having fun.
We're waiting for a chance to come back, anyways.
Okay, fine. Go. Just tell him. Just tell him.
All right. Uncle Al, what was the house you and all of you played for when you were in those games, the Zodiac games?
Wampus.
It's
Why
him.
do you
It's
guys
gotta
ask
be
me
him.
these questions?
Because we're not convinced you're not a spy and something happened that involved you. Look, I know this is gonna sound really weird, Al, but Layla was making sense, okay? I don't know how it happened, but she 100% was making sense, and
I just wanted to make sure that you weren't a spy for Fenrir Greyback, okay? Because everything just seemed to piece together. And she's like, what? She's saying that she's like looking right in the eye, to see if you're gonna break. And I'm assuming that you're just looking at her like, what is this girl doing?
Yeah. You might even be like, Leia, why would you joke about that?
It wasn't a joke. I was just trying to get ahead of him for once, because he seems to be ahead of us all the time. And I just thought, an ear to the inside might make the most sense. Okay, fine. Go tell him about the vision.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry, Al. I'm sorry. She really, really confused me there. This never happens, I promise. I've been having a really tough 24 hours, and I don't know what to do. You yelled at me, Juan yelled at me, I left Chance. I was in a different galaxy. It's just been really rough, all right? And you have a sister you don't know about, and she's with your dad, right? I know. I know this may sound crazy.
How do you? So you saw this person with my dad?
Yeah. So she came up to your dad's house, knocked on the door, and then he didn't answer. I guess your butler wasn't there. And then he came back and he knocked on the door again. Then your dad did answer. And then she was like, hey, father. She was like, I need to ask you for a favor. And he didn't say, you're not my daughter. You're crazy. Get out of here. He was like, yeah, come on in. So like he knows that's his daughter.
Al stands up, brushes the sand off him, and says, so wait, if these are real-time visions, I need to get there now. And he's going to look to Finn.
Yeah. You'll find him pretty easily. He's hard to miss.
Finn, I need you to fly me to which house were they at, Luke?
I don't know. I can just hear it. Oh, your door's all not the same.
House? Was it?
It looked like the one in the UK.
All right, Finn, I need you to take me to my house in the UK right now, please. No questions. Or we could talk about it along the way.
Sure, right away. But actually, oh darn it, he says. I was going to suggest the flu powder, but Roxy has the flu powder.
Fuck.
That's right.
Oh, have we
Good job, Jordan.
Where does Juan
love
live out
you.
of character? I forget.
Juan is just sitting on the.
No, where's he?
Like, what
live?
country
This
is
is
your
Mexico.
house, your beach
this
house?
One is in Mexico.
Mexico. So it's gonna take a few hours.
Yeah.
We can still go.
Yeah. I need to get there as soon as I can and talk to my dad.
He will gather his stuff and he'll say, I'm going to be taking Albion over to the UK. Keep in touch, let us know what's going on, and be careful. And you guys will fly off. Meanwhile, I would say within the next half hour, Juan, you're going to get a text message.
Oh, I'm gonna check it. Like, it's gonna be my fucking. What's the name? It's gonna be about the paper. Like, I'm too busy. He will check it.
It's a phone number that you don't recognize, but the message says, "So about that meeting with our daughter."
Oh fuck. I'm gonna be like, Ostera?
She texts back, "Yes, Y-E-Z, yes."
Just making sure. We were like, I came back kinda late.
Well, why don't you ask if we could try again today?
Probably should have thought that myself. And I'm gonna like take the like. How did I got sent like through a text, right?
It was an email.
I'm gonna send.
It was an email.
I'm gonna write another email. Say, hey, I got wrapped up in a few things. Can we reschedule for like today, another hour?
The email will respond and say, "I was waiting all day for you."
Are you still there? I'm sorry. Yeah, some unpredictable things happened.
She says, "No, I'm not still there. Are you trying to reschedule for this evening then?"
Yeah, exactly.
Fine. 8 o'clock.
Perfect. See you there. I'm gonna type to Stera. I rescheduled 8 o'clock in this Starbucks.
Sounds good, she says.
Where did you
I will
disappear?
meet you there.
Like, okay, where did you go? Like, no one saw you leave.
She says, "It's okay. They had it taken care of. I had other things to attend to."
Like, Huang will sigh knowing that he won't get anything else from her. Like, okay, see you there.
Okay. We're gonna fast forward through time. Again, in the interest of time, we're gonna fast forward a bit. So stuff at Juan's house seems to be okay. Aika's okay, thanks to the hoop, the cancer hoop. Tritessa will take the Chinese fireball back that she had called, and she basically, yeah, she'll take it back. And we're going to fast forward to some Starbucks. Is this going to be a Starbucks in the Muggle district or the Wizard district?
In
Just out of
the Wizard
curiosity.
District.
The Wizard District. Okay. So you guys will arrive, and I'm gonna say before you go into the building, as you're walking down the street, you'll hear a psst from around the corner.
Huang will look around.
You look around and you'll see that there is this woman in some sort of like trench coat looking thing, just trying to like be undercover.
So suspicious.
Hey,
Hey, Ostera.
well, she says, at least you're still punctual.
I try to be. Everything good?
She says, we're good. So here's the plan. Like I said, I don't want to be seen right away, so I'm just gonna hang back, blend into the background. I'll go first into the building and just get myself a latte or something and sit relatively close by to wherever this imposter is, and you can go and start talking to her.
Okay. Okay, let's do this. Like old times.
So Austera will go in first. You'll see her go in. You'll wait for a few minutes, and then you'll enter into the Starbucks. Fortunately, the Starbucks is not super crowded. There's maybe like 4 or 5 other patrons. But you do see the girl who claims herself to be Ximena, sitting at the table, and I think she doesn't seem to be having anything in front of her. She doesn't seem to have any coffee. She's just kind of sitting and waiting.
Juan will walk up and say, "Hey, sorry for not getting here like earlier. Again, some unpredictable things happened. Do you want something?
No thanks, she says.
Okay.
She still seems a little angry.
Yeah. Han will sit down in front of her. So,
So, how's the movie stuff coming along?
it's coming great. I've been getting some, you know, projects here and there. She just like sighs. They want to make a movie of Orpheus and me. I'm trying as hard to resist, but goddamn, they're paying well. So maybe, you know,
It's a popular show. I mean, if they've got a cash cow, they gotta milk it for all it's worth, I guess.
they do, and you know, some projects I've been looking into, like some indie films that have interesting premises. I'm trying to not just be a one-trick pony. If you get my meaning.
Out of character, I'm gonna say that one of the things that Austera discussed with you ahead of time is, in case there were people inside of the coffee shop, they want to somehow get you guys into a position where you're alone. So whatever you need to do to get her out of the public eye, so that they can confront her.
Yeah.
Like that's what she's gonna try to do. So if you wanna say that you do some small talk for the first few minutes,
that's gonna be it.
And then, as you're doing your small talk, what happens?
So, hey, how about we go like somewhere more private? Like, I don't think I can really talk to you with all these people around. It would just calm, it would get uncomfortable. Like, Juan also has like a large thing and like sunglasses,
Right, like the paparazzi.
Like the paparazzi.
Yeah, the paparazzi.
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense. Where do you want to go?
Like, I'm sure like there's like I know a good place where like a very private restaurant where like kind of for elites we can have talk alone if you maybe wanna.
All right, lead the way, she says.
Juan will get up. Probably takes a coffee or two, so we just leave the money on the counter and
Okay.
take her and like to an alleyway because it's this way.
You'll take her to the alleyway. You'll actually see Austera and at the corner of your eye get up, not as you guys are getting up, but shortly after, and she's gonna make her way into the bathroom, the woman's bathroom. And then as you guys are walking down this dark alleyway, you hear Austera cast a binding leg, whatever that's called, that Petrificus Totalis or something,
Petrificus
or like
Totalis.
some sort of, or she still wants her to be able to speak. So isn't there one that just does your legs?
Yeah.
It's a leg locking charm.
Leg locking charm.
All right.
Yeah.
You'll hear Austera cast the leg locking charm, and then Ximena is very surprised and shocked by this, and then she falls over to the ground and she's unable to move, but she can still speak.
Juan will turn around and now he looks fucking angry. Like he's been containing all of that, so he will just like pick her up and put her up a wall and be like, okay, who the fuck are you?
She says, "What is wrong with you? I said that I'm your daughter."
Yeah, well, she says otherwise, and I like point at Austera.
Austera comes in from the shadows and she pulls down like whatever she was wearing, like glasses or something, and she has her wand out towards her. Like, she looks ticked off as well, and she says, well, you got her close, but not quite. You're definitely not my daughter, Austera says. And Ximena, she looks towards her direction, and Ximena for a moment looks very like afraid and frightened. Clearly she did not expect to see Austera there. And she says, "Wait, I can explain." "Oh, well, you better explain very quickly, sister, because I don't appreciate somebody reopening wounds that are still healing.
Juan will cast Dispel Magic. So, like, if she has any magic, like, around her, so that it goes away.
Yes.
And I can see.
Go ahead and cast it.
It's 56 plus 20. 21. 25.
You cast the spell on her, and you can see that her facial features start to change slightly. Not in a way that it transforms her into a different person, but it changes in a way that makes her look older. As if somebody had made... as if she had made herself look a lot younger. Same person, but younger.
Yes.
And she seems to age probably from a 16-year-old girl to more of someone that's in their mid-30s.
Okay, that's...
So it's an older person, not a 16-year-old girl. And then shortly after the transformation finishes, she collapses unconscious, but in her place rises up from the body is a ghost.
Oh!
And you are face to face with the ghost of a 16-year-old girl who looks similar features as the body that she was possessing. But you can definitely see that she has your eyes, Juan.
Fuck me. I wanted her to be a spy so I could kick her out. Juan looks shocked for a second, like, what the fuck?
Austera looks shocked as well, and she's just speechless. She's standing agape, and the ghost is just floating above the body of whoever this other woman is. And she says, "There, you happy now?"
Juan just, so he drops his wand, like, fuck. What the hell?
I wasn't lying. I am your daughter. I just thought that seeing me this as your first glance at me would probably be shocking, which clearly it is, so I figured I needed a body to at least make it less weird.
How? What? I will just again like drift into the wall and slam into the ground sitting. I don't understand what's going on. So you are a daughter. You are my daughter.
I just wanted to meet you. That's really why I stuck around.
I'm so sorry. I didn't knew. What? How?
It's not so bad, you know. At least when I'm in possession of someone, I can still feel what they feel, taste what they taste. It's not bad.
So sorry. He's like hyperventilating, like, okay. Oh, Dios. Oh, Dios. He's again clutches his fist. I don't know what to say.
Austera, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry about, Austera says. I was the one who kept her a secret from you for all these years. I'm the one who should be sorry, Juan. I had been meaning to tell her who you are for the longest time. I just kept telling myself another year. I would tell her in another year, and then when this happened, and she points to her ghost daughter, I just couldn't bring myself to say anything to you because I figured, why bring you that pain?
Fun will stand up and say, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Ximena says, well, weren't we about to go to a restaurant? Can't we still do that? We can still hang out and stuff. I can get to know you. At that point, Austera looks down at the body and she says, Ximena, but who is this? Who is this other woman? You can't just take over somebody's body indefinitely. How long have you been in her? Since the event happened? And she says, no, I found her a few months ago. Well, you can't just... She has a family. She has to go back to her family. You can't just parade around impersonating, using her body like that. And Ximena says, she was going to die anyway, Mom. What do you mean? Austera asks. She says, this woman, she was a victim, one of the early victims of the war. She got hit pretty bad with an Obliviate curse, and she fell into a coma. She's been in a coma for years. They were going to pull the plug on her, Mom. They were going to let her die. So I took her out of that. I don't think she's ever going to be the same. But now, with me, she's at least getting some semblance of a life. She's not 100% coherent anymore, but we can help each other out. I have a body, and she gets to keep living. It's not perfect, but we need each other. Austera doesn't know what to say. She's very, confused as to how she feels about this.
I am too! Oh, God!
I wasn't just gonna let her die.
Fun will nod.
Ximena turns to you and says, look, I meant what I said. I stuck around because I wanted to find out who you were. And I do want to spend time with you. This is how we can. You said that you wanted a daughter. And I always wanted to know what it was like to have a dad. So she waits and tries to wait for how you respond to that.
Fun will get up and look at her and say, I'm sorry. And he will leave. He will walk away and... Actually, no, fuck. Yeah, he will just walk away and get a cab and go home.
Okay. You leave your daughter behind.
I hate myself so much right now.
Okay. I don't think Austera goes after you. I think she's gonna stay with her daughter. She's gonna stay with her. I think she's gonna stay with her. With her daughter.
Yes. Oh, I'm such a horrible person.
Oh my god.
Let's save that for the blog. Let's save.
Meanwhile, Finn and Albin are on their way to the UK. And do you want to start the conversation, or because Finn is ready to start the conversation? Unless you want to
I think
start.
Al would be silent. It's kind of like that, a little bit of shame, like he's regretting some of the things he said and going back and trying to replay it in his head. So he's quiet until Finn brings it up.
A lot of the trip was silent. I'm not going to say it was totally silent. I'm sure you guys would have had some sort of some semblance of a conversation back and forth, but fairly neutral. And finally, Finn pipes up as you guys are getting closer to the UK, and he says, so I've never actually seen you that angry back there.
Yeah, about that. I'm sorry if sorry. I don't know. Thankfully, I didn't take any of that out on you because I would have felt even worse.
He kind of shakes his head. Honestly, I'm actually happy that you let yourself be angry for once. I just feel like there's so much pressure for you to be the level-headed one, to be the anchored and centered one, that I just worry that you just never had a chance for you to just let yourself, I don't know, just let yourself be angry. And trust me, I know that I've had my anger issues, but I think you ended up having the opposite problem. I think that you keep a lot of things bottled up and you just don't allow yourself to release your frustration the way that I think is healthy. That's a lot of what my therapy sessions have told me, is it's okay to be angry, just it's healthy to be angry and you shouldn't be ashamed of that.
Al's just nodding. He knows everything Finn's saying is correct, and he'll say, yeah, I don't know if you remember it, but a long time ago, back when we first met, I think I told you the same thing, you know, that as thankful as you were that I could be there to kind of help keep your emotions at bay, you know, it was just important for me to realize that I need to let them out, and you've shown me that. So you're right.
I don't want to make it seem like I want you to have time to vent, and I want you to have time to just be angry, but I just wanted to say that you're not useless, Al. You've never been useless. I've always told you how amazing I've always found you, and it's never because of your magical abilities. Yes, your healing is crazy useful, and everything that you do with herbology I just find so fascinating about how passionate you always were, but the value that you gave to the team is your organization, it's your level-headedness, it's your just the way that you're able to take a crazy, intense, and out-of-control situation and somehow diffuse it, and just your way of diplomatizing between the rest of the group. That has nothing to do with your magic. That's something that Roxy, Luke, even Levi didn't have. Juan didn't have. That's what you have, and that's what you bring to the group.
Al's smiling and he says, I know, and thank you. It's just really hard whenever things are getting as crazy as they are, and I think it hit really hard not having my magic. I know I've got other skills, and I'm still going to try my best to use them, because to just give up is the cowardly thing to do, and as tough as it has been sometimes to embrace that bravery inside of me, I'm still going to do that.
Well, like I said, if you need to vent out more frustration, I told you, I can take a few hits here or there.
Oh, I know.
Kind of smiles. That, and to be perfectly honest, when you were kind of yelling at everybody, I kind of found it a little sexy, if I was being honest.
Al's like, oh, all right, I'll keep that in mind.
Actually, that laugh was in character. He kind of laughs, throws back his head, and he laughs.
Well, thank you, Finn. And we rushed off because of Luke's vision, and when we get back, though, he has a plan. I don't know what it is, but I'm just hopeful that I can get my magic back, and Meg can get his magic back, and we're gonna have to all come together to take down Fenrir. It's just seeming to be like we're being pulled apart right now.
Did you tell Finn about what the twins said to you in their vision?
Yeah, I think that would have probably been their first conversation.
So Finn's gonna say, so how do you feel about what Luke and Leia told you?
I'm still not sure. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see what my dad says. And out of character, like Augustus is pretty old now. Is he retired from the ministry?
I don't think he's retired. I feel like he'd go crazy if he. This is a man I think who
Okay.
would go crazy if he ever retired. So I think he would stay with the ministry for as much as possible, even if it's part time. So I think by now, realistically, he's probably would be there part time, and at least staying connected because that's just he's a workaholic. So
And in my head, he and Al, they maybe talk a couple times a year. It's not like they don't talk, but I feel like it's not often. If you're okay with that for Augustus.
sure, that's fine.
Okay. So yeah, I guess it depends on what my dad says. I mean, if I actually do have a sister, that was kind of crappy of him to hide it all these years.
I'm actually kind of upset that she never said anything to you. I can understand if she has some sort of chip on her shoulder about your dad, no offense, but I can't imagine why she wouldn't say anything to you.
I don't know. We don't know her. She doesn't know me. Maybe she had a reason. Maybe she didn't know we were siblings until recently. I don't know. I just hope to get some answers.
Would you want her as a sibling?
Al kind of just ponders a second. He says, I don't know. I mean, she seems nice enough. I don't know her that well. I feel bad. She's kind of been a part of our life, but things have just been so crazy. I don't even know her that well.
So you might want to have her as a sister. I guess I'm asking is just don't tell Luke that because he might shove you off of his shoulder or something and abandon you in some random universe with her or something. He sort of smirks.
Yeah, he really likes to take things into his own hand and do things that he thinks others want, but he's still young. And anyways, we're here, so
Yeah, you'll arrive at the house finally. Do you want me to hang back? Do you want me to go with you? What do you need me to do, Al?
so out of character, I think that Al being with Finn is still something he and his dad just kind of ignore. It's just kind of not a topic they bring up. But Al is going to say, no, you're going to come in. If you want to, that is. I'm not making you, but I want you there. I'm tired of feeling like I can't even bring you up around him. So if he's going to hold a secret sister away from me, then who cares what he thinks, right? In the words of that guy we met back there, what was his name, Nathan?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck what your dad thinks.
Finn says, that's sexy too. He says, you'll knock on the door. Well, why are you knocking on the door? You can let yourself in. Or are you going to knock on the door?
No, he would let himself in, sorry.
You let yourself in.
Well, he would do that kind of knock and then open the door. Anybody home?
You'll see that your dad is sitting on a couch, like reading a paper when you arrive. And he looks up and he looks very surprised. And he says, Albion, I wasn't expecting you to be here. He gets up.
Yeah, and Al will walk over and he'll give his dad a hug. Or at least present a hug.
He'll hug you back and then he'll look over your shoulder and he'll say, Finn, Mr. Mermont, Finn says. And that's pretty much the only exchange they have, at least at first.
I was going to say, yeah, this wasn't a planned visit, but something happened and I needed to come ask you some questions, he says.
He says, questions. My offspring has a question. Very well. What is it?
He says, look, I'm just gonna be blunt. Do I have a sister?
He bites his lip. I figured that would be a question to be asking me fairly soon, considering... Have a seat, he says as he sits down on the couch. Finn, can we get you anything? He'll ring a bell and Finn says, Actually, tea would be nice. And he'll ring the bell, and you'll see Ellis. Now, Ellis is old. Old. And he's a bit slower now. You can probably tell that he's on his last legs. And I think that your family has told him, he's retired now. He doesn't have to. He's dismissed from his services, but he just doesn't this is not what he wants to get away from. He wants to be with your family pretty much until he's stuck in bed. So he comes in, and you can see Ellis say, "Master Albion, it's good to see you," he says with a very warm smile. And it seems like as soon as he sees you, his step kind of quickens a little bit. He was a little bit hunched over, but then he straightens up a bit as soon as he sees you, as if he just got a little bit of burst of energy. "And Master Finn," he says, smiling, "such a pleasant surprise to have you both." And he'll go to give you a hug.
Oh yeah, and Al, admittedly, is probably obvious. He's a little more excited to see Ellis. He's actually smiling, and he walks up and gives him a big hug. And I've missed you, Ellis. It's good to see you're doing well.
I missed you as well, Master Albion. I should probably let you and your father have a talk. Tea, yes. I will be right back. Sorry, I'm a little slower now these days. And Finn says, "I can help you if you're..." No, he says, "I am perfectly capable of getting a pot of tea all by my lonesome. I've been doing it even long before you were born, Sonny." And so he says, "You sit right back down," and he'll hobble back out the room. Then Augustus turns back to you. "The short answer is yes, Albion. You do have a half-sister. And the main reason why I haven't said anything to you is it wasn't by my choice. Her mother asked me not to say anything to the rest of my family, and so I respected her wishes."
I don't think Al's angry, so he doesn't have a look of anger on his face. He's processing. And do I know her mother?
No, I don't think you do. It happened a long time, Albion. I think you probably have pieced together that your mother and we had a very strained relationship just before you were conceived. Our relationship after the first few years of marriage was wonderful. It was one of the happiest moments of my life. But then we started to drift apart little by little, and I ended up becoming very serious about my work at the ministry, and admittedly, she, rightfully so, was upset by my obsession. I wasn't home enough, and long story short, we drifted apart, and I got into a little bit of drinking. I got to be very lonely, and ended up having relations with this other woman. Her name was Vivienne Varatu. Does that name ring a bell to you at all?
Maybe out of character.
I don't think it would necessarily.
No? Okay. I'm just looking back at the names I wrote down from the last few sessions. So he'll shake his head.
Albion, this is probably important for you, and again, I apologize that I haven't said anything for all these years because, again, I didn't want to unravel something that would cause me to go against the wishes of Vivienne. But she was the wife of Hunter Lionheart, who was also Levi's biological mother.
What? Okay, sorry, back into character. Al is...
What?
Yeah.
What? What?
I'm
Wait.
sorry, did you say Levi?
He was married to Vivienne, Veratu. And after Hunter came out, that relationship was very strained. They separated, and Vivienne and I ended up together for a little while, which is how Astera was born. Hunter later met Joe, and they got married.
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time. I get that you did this for this Vivienne, to keep this a secret, but something this big, Dad? Like, did Mom know?
Yes, she knows. I was very open to her when I became unfaithful, and it took many, many, many years of working through it. I did not ask, nor felt that I deserved her forgiveness, or deserved to be taken back, but we stuck it out and we stayed together. That was the one time that I had strayed, and I understand one is more than enough, but we stayed together regardless.
Internally, it's hard to explain his feelings. There's a little anger. It's more of just like, what the heck? And he also, with his dad being a little older, like, he does try his best to just avoid the confrontation. Like, he's learned over the years, so he's not gonna, like, go all in on his dad, but he's really confused. But he also has questions about Astera, so we're gonna go back to that for a second. So he's gonna say, oh goodness, I came here thinking I had one sibling, and now I'm finding out I have two. Look, Dad, I thank you for telling me. I don't know why it came so late, but thank you for telling me. Things are getting a little crazy. I don't know how much you've been following with the news from the ministry. I don't know what has even been reported, to be honest. Some of it has happened so recently, but this sister of mine, Astera, he says, she came to you tonight. At least, I think she did.
She did.
What role does she have in all this, Dad? Is she a good person? I mean, can we trust her? What information do you have? Because things are getting crazy.
I would like to trust her. Yes, she is part of our family. I admit, though, that our interactions have been very few. She has dropped in a number of times when she was older. The first time we met, I think, was when she was 15. And she's the kind of person who comes and goes as she pleases, as I found. She never left me contact information. It was more of a type of relationship where don't contact me, I'll contact you. She's very good about keeping people in her life separate, it seems. So I wish I could tell you 100% that we could trust her, but...
What was the purpose of her visit tonight, Dad? Because she was with some of my friends who got attacked and just left them. And the timing seems to line up that she came right to you.
Fenrir Greyback, yes, I know. She came to me because she wanted answers. Somehow she had known that Hermione Granger, the Minister of Magic here in the UK, has lost her magical powers. And she wanted to know why, because she had suspicions as to who was behind it. We had our own suspicions, but she almost completely verified that it was indeed Mr. Greyback who was behind the loss of her powers. She mentioned that you had found a way to essentially remove magical abilities from someone? Somehow? Is this true? Oh, it's true, all right. Finn kind of pipes up, looking at Al.
Yeah. Found is maybe not the best way to put it. accidentally stumbled upon is maybe a better way, but yeah, I actually don't have my magical ability anymore, Dad, because these hoops that I'm sure you know about now have the ability to take it away, and there was an accident, and yes, the hoops are tied to it, and
Where are they now?
well, I don't know where all of them are, but we're in possession of some of them.
All right. I'll get to that in a moment. But to continue with your original question, I explained to her that yes, Miss Granger did have her powers removed, and she had received a message. It wasn't signed by anyone, but it was a message saying that if we wish for this phenomenon to stop, that she would have to provide for them this prophecy that was given to her by a Shiro, I think was his name. Someone from Thailand, I think. Shiro apparently had this prophecy that he or she wanted. He goes over to his desk and he opens up a safe and he pulls out a parchment in his handwriting. It looks like he had copied what the prophecy had said, and he hands it to you. And the prophecy says, "When the four reach the end of their game and the curtain is about to be pulled, the fate of magic will come full circle." This is a prophecy out of character that came from the spin-off. Just as an FYI.
Al's gonna read it and he's gonna say, "Well, this sounds really familiar, Dad."
I had a suspicion that he wanted this prophecy for some reason with the hoops, and I don't know what that is, now that you mention it.
Did she give it up, Miss
No.
Granger?
Not yet. No. Is she tempted? Not in the slightest. I don't think she plans on negotiating with this person. But if this does turn into some sort of war, well, I don't even want to address it right now. We just came back from another horrible one.
Do you think Miss Granger would talk to me if I tried to see her? Could you pull any strings still?
Well, considering how you four were the heroes of the last war, I'm sure that some strings can be pulled, yes.
If you could work on that, I'll reach out to other people I have contact with. I think we might need to talk to her though. Is there any other siblings you're hiding from me, Dad?
No, son. She and Levi are the only other ones. I was going to say out of character. To be fair, you have two. You only have two. To be fair, out of character, but that's... Anyway.
Yeah. When also out of character, the Levi one is not really Augustus's secret to tell, but I was gonna say, okay. Again, thank you for telling me this. I don't know why you had to wait till I came to ask you, but I hope you're doing well and staying safe. But I think with this information, I've got a few people I need to talk to, and Finn and I should probably be getting back to the group.
That sounds good. Actually, Finn, if I may have a word with you privately before you leave. Finn looks very surprised. He looks at Al, and then he looks back at Augustus, and he says, "All right, sure." And Finn and Augustus will step out. Right when Ellis comes in, and he has a tray of tea, and he sets it down. Where did the other two go?
Oh, Ellis, I'm not sure. I hope this doesn't go poorly. I'm gonna kind of keep an ear out just in case I hear any yelling. Ellis, I miss you.
I miss you too, Master Albion. How are things going with Master Finn?
I think they're going well, Ellis. I wish we had more time for he and I to just spend time together, but lately it's been so busy, and I think once all this settles, I'm gonna take more advantage of making sure we have that time. Thanks for checking in, though.
Of course. You might have a chance to just catch up for a few minutes, and then Finn will emerge with Augustus, and Augustus will go over to you, Albion, and he will place his hands on your shoulders, and he just kind of looks at you just for a few seconds, and then he's gonna pull you in, and he's just gonna hold you. He's gonna clutch you very tightly before he lets go.
I think Al is probably hugging him tightly too. He's probably still wondering what the heck they said, but the fact that they came in calm and Augustus came over and hugged him, Al might even be maybe crying a little bit. Or at least, tears watering up. He's not like full on sobbing, but he's processing a lot, and he'll just hug. He won't say anything.
And with that, you guys will leave. Finn will start to kick off so that you guys can go back to, I guess, Juan's house again. I guess that's where you're going back.
Yeah, unless they updated us on any other.
Okay. And if nothing's gonna happen, I don't know if you're gonna say anything. Finn's not gonna say anything at the moment, but he's just gonna take you guys back unless you say anything.
He would probably say, "What did my dad want to say to you?"
He says, it was very simple, really. He just told me that it's my job now to continue protecting you, and it's also my job to keep you happy. Happier than he ever made you.
Oh.
Al's just like, he's holding him tightly. I imagine he's on the broom behind him. He's just hugging him. Sometimes my dad surprises me in good ways and bad ways, he says. But I'm glad it seems like he's maybe finally coming around to the idea of you and I.
I don't think it happens overnight, but he's had time.
Yeah. Yeah, and that'll be it, I think, that Al says.
Meanwhile, while all of this is happening, Luke and Leia. Leia turns to Luke and says, "Okay, so I got an idea, Luke, and I talked to Mom already, and she's completely on board."
I'm not grounded forever.
She didn't mention anything about that in particular, but that doesn't mean it's gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I'm just saying it wasn't brought up.
All right, what's your idea?
You know how Uncle Albion mentioned that he ended up in the Thunderbird room and how he saw that dude and this woman that he was with, I guess his wife, that had the markings of the other hoop, the Fiacus hoop and stuff?
Yeah.
And how Juan said he's positive that that maybe that was somebody that was in his family tree.
Uh-huh.
So I talked to Mom, because apparently Mom knows Juan's mom, Esmeralda. And since Uncle Juan is off doing something, I don't know what he's off doing at the moment, I thought maybe we could talk to Grandma Esmeralda and see if we can get information about his ancestor.
Yeah, that's a great idea, but how are we going to get to her?
Mom can apparate us.
Oh, she's that down with the plan. Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Okay, sounds perfect. So she goes over and she sees that Alec and Chessa have just finished helping clean up the beach a little bit. And she turns back to Tretesa, Naila, Ika, and Toby. And she says, we'll keep each other posted. I don't know when we're regrouping again, but we definitely need to come up with a plan when everybody's back. And we have, when Roxy and Chance are back from their musical, Chessa says.
Yeah, that wasn't my best idea ever.
Naila says, if you learn anything, let us know. We're always here to help. Yeah. We'll always be there to help you guys. 100%. Chessa smiles, and she turns to Alec, and she says, all right, let's go to Mexico. And you guys will make your way over to Juan's house, which you remember from when you guys were there back in the day for Christmas. Oh, the memories.
Threatened to kill Yvonne.
Nothing
Tried
bad
to kill
happened.
Yvonne.
Nothing bad happened there.
Yeah, not bad. I didn't ruin Christmas at all.
To think that was the least of our worries back
I
then,
know.
guys.
That was the biggest thing, yeah.
Yeah, that was the big bad.
You'll go over to the door. Chessa will knock. The door will open, and there's this young man with pink hair who
Heck
opens the
yeah.
door, and he says, "Whoa, hey guys, what are you doing here?" He says, "Mom mentioned that we're gonna have guests, and she said it was gonna be a surprise, but I didn't think it was gonna be you guys." "Hi, Skylar," Chessa says as she gives Skylar a hug.
Luke is excited to see Skylar because Skylar's super cool. And if Skylar allows it, he would also give him a hug.
Yeah, of course. "What's going on?" Skylar says. "Oh, we're on a mission," Leia says. "Top secret stuff. You can't tell anyone else." "I love that kind of mission," Skylar says.